And here are the electrical system which forms the brain of the 3D printer. Here is the RAMs board, Arduino Mega. These are the drivers, LCD, and this is a SMPS which converts our 230 to 240 AC volts into the 12 volts DC. So this is a SMPS. You can see here the input is 200 to 240 volt AC, 50 to 60 hertz, which is normal electric current which is coming into our house, and output is 12 volts and 30 amperes. So this will convert 240 volts into 12 volt, and which is needed to drive the RAMs board. So this is the RAMs board, Arduino Mega, and the drivers along with heat sinks. These three components form together the brain of the 3D printer. So this is the shield of this Arduino. The Arduino Mega is the main processor of your 3D printer, and these are the drivers to drive the motors. So there are 4 motors, so 4 drivers are there, so X, Y, Z and extruder. So if you are using the dual extruder, then this another one driver is needed for another extruder. First of all, we will see the connection of this SMPS: ground, neutral and live, which is coming into this SMPS from our electric board. This connection will get into this, and here positive and negative terminals are given, indication are given. So from here the connection will go to our RAMs board. So I have connected the ground, negative and ground, neutral and live, and taken out positive and negative 12 volt. This will go into the RAMs board. Into the RAMs board, the positive and negative connection will go, and also these 2 terminals are given. Here you can attach the connection of the extruder fan. So because extruder fan will need to be working all the time, so instead of connection taking out from the RAMs board, so you can directly connect to the 12 volts supply. So whenever you will turn on the power supply, the extruder fan will get turned on. And the positive and negative are given. This will go into this, and the pins are given over here for the RAMs board, which will exactly match the pins are given over the Arduino Mega 2560. So this will go on to the top of this Arduino. So this will act as a shield to this. Press this little, and the drivers will go on the top of this connection. Before that, if you are taking this from the shop, then along with this RAMs board, they will give these pins. 15 connections are there. So you are seeing that the pins are over here. There are 15 pins in between the space for driver, 3 for each motor. So this will act as a jumper and complete the circuit. So before you put drivers on the top of this, so make sure that you completed this circuit by putting these pins. So we will put these pins. So there are 22 pins I got along with this RAMs board. If you lose one or break one, then you can use this spare part. So apart from this, I have attached here 15 pins. You can see 3 at each driver. So now we will connect these drivers. So these individual drivers will control the individual motors for X, Y, Z and extruder motor. And these are the heat sinks, because the lot of the heat will generate and there may be chances that your drivers may get break. So don't forget to attach these heat sinks on the top of this driver. Don't use without these heat sinks. We will connect on the top of this. So one question you will get that in which orientation you should keep these drivers on the top of this RAMs board. You can see that the lots of words are written below the drivers, and also in the gap where these drivers will go. So accordingly, matching each pins, you can attach these drivers on the top of this RAMs board. So you can see that the step grounds are written over here: direction, ground, step, sleep, reset, and also the similar wording is given inside this. So you can see that and they attach that one. So I have connected the 4 drivers for X, Y, Z and extruder. So now the Arduino Mega, RAMs board and drivers, this is the brain of the 3D printer. So we assembled the brain. So now we will assemble the other things. So now we will connect this display to this RAMs board. So here is one connector is given, and the pins on the RAMs board will get matched with this connector, and this will go on to the top of this. So if you see that the EXP1 and EXP2 are written over these connectors, and similar wording is given at the back of this LCD display, that EXP1 and EXP2, and these are the cables to attach this. So accordingly we will connect these cables. And also this is the display along with this memory card slot, so you don't need to attach the laptop while printing. So we will insert this memory card on inside this slot, and along with the code. So memory card will go inside this like this. So we have attached the most of the components. Now we will connect the motors, extruder fans, end stop and all that stuff. So let's take out our printer and we will connect the further connection. So now we will attach one by one. First of all, we will connect the X, Y, Z and extruder motors to this RAMs board. Already I have attached this wire for X motors to my RAMs board. So you can see the X motor will go here, X, this Y, and this Z. For Z motors, two provisions are given for single Z axis and dual Z axis, and for here the extruder 1 and extruder 2, E0 and E1. So for dual extruder you can similarly have the one more driver here and its motor connection here. How to attach these motors to the RAMs board and how to identify the correct terminals, for that I have made one separate video for how to identify the terminals. The better way is that you don't go for the color scheme. You will have to check the wires for from which winding it came. So I have made the separate video for that. You can check out in the link in description below. So following the same color scheme, that is black, green, blue and red, so attach the Y motors as well. So this is my Y motor connection. I have followed the same color scheme. So one is a black, green, blue and red. Black, green, blue and red. So if these terminals are not correct, so you can simply plug out that from this socket and rearrange the terminals and then plug it into the RAMs board. Coming to the Z axis, so these are the terminals for my Z axis. I have connected the XYZ motor in the same fashion, XYZ. It's extruder, so this one is for extruder, so extruder will go here. So now we have attached all the motors. Coming to the end stop, there will be 3 end stop for each axis, X, Y, Z. Actually you can connect as many as possible. For X minimum, X maximum to connect 2 end stop, Y minimum, Y maximum 2 end stop, Z minimum, Z maximum 2 end stop, but I am connecting only 3 for X, Y, Z minimum. So here the extruder will get attached. First 2 connection for X minimum, X maximum, Y minimum, Y maximum, Z minimum, Z maximum. So and you can see there are the wordings are here, means signal, negative and positive. So likewise you can connect the end stop. How to connect this end stop and how to identify the connection, I have made the separate video because most of the times you will be in a confusion that how to connect these wires for of end stop in a RAMs board, because the end stop have different wording and RAMs board has its own wording. To avoid confusion, I have made the separate video how to identify it and connect it properly. End stop is a polarity sensitive, so you will have to connect these in a proper order. So I have identified the negative and signal connection, and accordingly I have marked. This red one is positive, middle black is negative, and which I didn't colored is a signal. This one is for my platform, means Z minimum, so I will connect it according to the Z minimum. So Z minimum will go here. Now we will connect the X minimum. So this one is my X minimum, and this one is my Y minimum. This is X and this is Y. Motors I have done with, end stop I have done with. So coming to the sensors part, So we have two sensors, one is for the heat bed and one is for the extruder. At the T0 your extruder sensor will go, and at the T1 your heat bed sensor will go, that is thermistor. This one is for extruder sensor. Remember that this sensor is polarity insensitive, because this is a heating element, and anything that heats up means we will have to pass the current only, and it will get heated up, and no need to check the polarity, so you can connect it at any way. So I have connected this to the T0, and now it's time to connect our heat bed sensor. That will go to the T1. So I have connected here. T1 is for thermistor, heat bed thermistor, and T0 is for your nozzle sensor. So we have done with majority of upper part, so lower part is remaining at D9, D10. So we will connect this. So before that we will zip tie these wires. So I have zip tied these end stop together and this temperature sensor together, so to keep this RAM's board neat and clean. So D8 is for your heat bed, D9 is your for blower fan, and D10 is for extruder terminal. This is for the heated bed, and this is a heating element, so we don't need to worry about the positive and negative terminal, whatever we will connect. So though it is written as a positive and D8, so don't worry about that. This is a heating element, then anything that heats up don't need to check the polarity. So the heat bed connection I have done. Similarly we will attach the D10 connection. D10 is also the polarity insensitive, because this is a extruder heating element, so anything that heats up will not have the polarity. So at the D10 we will connect our heating element of extruder. So these are the two wires for the extruder heater. So this will go at the bottom of this D10.